Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our Sunday Family Service Online. A Happy New Year from the Philippine headquarters. To prepare our hearts, let us sing our song number 15, March of the New Age. Thank you for singing with us. Once again, welcome to our Sunday Family Service Online. Today is the 20th day of the 11th month of the 8th year of Chanelguk. To begin with, let us have our words of meditation. The term hyojong, which I created, includes giving one's whole heart, and so being effective is not entirely wrong. However, the term hyojong that I have been using has a much deeper and wider meaning. Hyo is a term that once was prevalent in the Far East. If we had to translate it into English, we might render it filial duty. However, the word duty is not enough. Hyo means duty motivated by love, duty that is not compulsory but is happily voluntary, and that provides one's life its deepest meaning. Of course, that includes sincerely honoring and truly loving your parents. Hyo is a beautiful Korean tradition and also is the foundation of life. It is sad to see that the concept of hyo is slowly disappearing in society. Let us now sing our Chonelguk anthem.
아
Now, I would like to invite our national leader of the Philippines, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog, for our Kyongbe and the recitation of the family pledge.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Let us first offer our half bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천진 참부모님께 경배 바로. Let us recite the family pledge number 5. Family pledge number 5. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Meaning of family pledge number 5. Adam's family is the core of all reciprocal subject and object partners in the physical world created by Heavenly Parent, while Heavenly Parent is the core of the subject and object partners in the spirit world. Mind is in the subject position and body is in the object position. Likewise, the spirit world is in the subject position. And Heavenly Parent and true love can link the spirit world and physical world. We should strive every day to advance Heavenly Parent's will. If we stop, death awaits us. So we must advance forward Heavenly Parent's will every day, even one step.
Thank you so much, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Jerome Enriquez for the opening prayer.
Brothers and sisters, please join my prayer. 사랑하는 하늘 부모님, 천진 참 부모님 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Heavenly Parent, we would like to really say thank you, Heavenly Parents, for the gift of life, for all the blessings, Heavenly Parents, that you've showered upon us, Heavenly Parent. As we welcome this year of 2021, Heavenly Parents, we are looking forward, Heavenly Parents, for more challenges, Heavenly Parents, to come. We're looking forward for more difficulties, Heavenly Parents, because we've chosen this path, Heavenly Parents, together with you, Heavenly Parent, and together with our true parents. We all know, Heavenly Parents, it's not going to be an easy path, Heavenly Parents. We may face, Heavenly Parents, a lot of difficulties and hardships along the way, Heavenly Parents. But I believe, Heavenly Parents, that if we will walk together hand in hand, Heavenly Parents, with accumulated effort, Heavenly Parents, of my brothers and sisters, my youngers, my elders, my leaders, Heavenly Parents, I strongly believe, Heavenly Parents, that we can really bring great miracles, Heavenly Parents, great offerings, Heavenly Parents, to comfort your heart, Heavenly Parents. We are truly sorry, Heavenly Parents, because still, Heavenly Parents, there were times, Heavenly Parents, that we commit mistakes, Heavenly Parents. We cause you pain, Heavenly Parents. We hurt your heart, Heavenly Parent. And for that, Heavenly Parents, we're asking for your forgiveness, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, we are welcoming another week, Heavenly Parents, the first week, Heavenly Parents, of year 2021, Heavenly Parents, and we wanted to make this as fruitful as possible, Heavenly Parents, for this to become a foundation, Heavenly Parents, for the coming days to come, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, we would like to determine ourselves, Heavenly Parents, to really fulfill our responsibilities, Heavenly Parents, to really stand, Heavenly Parents, and uphold, Heavenly Parents, the standard of our true parents. Heavenly Parents, there's a lot of events, Heavenly Parents, that we're preparing for, and I hope, Heavenly Parents, that all our efforts, Heavenly Parents, and all our goals, Heavenly Parents, will be substantialized, Heavenly Parents, at the end of all of this, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, as we prepare ourselves, Heavenly Parents, for so many providential things, Heavenly Parents, especially offering our nation, Heavenly Parents, as a heavenly unified nation, Heavenly Parents, really hoping, Heavenly Parents, that we can really unite as one, Heavenly Parents. Not just people in the religious sector, Heavenly Parents, but all other sectors, Heavenly Parents, in our society, Heavenly Parents. We need to really work hand in hand, Heavenly Parents. And I hope, Heavenly Parents, we can really focus, Heavenly Parents, and really show that we are grateful enough, Heavenly Parents, that we are filial enough, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much, Heavenly Parents, for all the blessings. Hoping, Heavenly Parents, that this week would be a productive, meaningful, and a joyful week for all of us. May you guide each and every one of us, Heavenly Parent. I hope that all families, all our blessed families, all our members, Heavenly Parents, would always be safe, would always have good health, Heavenly Parents, so that we can fulfill really our missions, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for everything, and I would like to offer this prayer in behalf of my precious brothers and sisters, in true parents' name. Adieu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerome Enriquez, for the opening prayer. Now, may I invite Mr. Mark J. Tapia for the scriptural reading.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Our reading for this Sunday service is taken from the book of Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, Chapter 9, God's Kingdom in Our Midst. Most Koreans, when they first encounter the term Yojong, tilt their head in puzzlement. It might seem like a familiar concept, but it's not easy to define. They wonder, does it refer to a feeling in one's heart, or does it refer to actual practice? The Korean word yo also means to be effective, so some even think that is the meaning. The term Yojong, which I created, includes giving one's whole heart, and so being effective is not entirely wrong. However, the term Yojong that I've been using has a much deeper and wider meaning. Yo is a term that once was prevalent in the Far East. If we had to translate it into English, we might render it filial duty. However, the word duty is not enough. Yo means duty motivated by love, duty that is not compulsory but is happily voluntary, and that provides one's life its deepest meaning. Of course, that includes sincerely honoring and truly loving your parents. Yo is a beautiful Korean tradition and also is the foundation of life. It is sad to see that the concept of yo is slowly disappearing in society. Adieu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mark J. Tapia, for the scriptural reading. Now, for our providential news and report, let us watch HJ Global News by Peace TV.
Hello brothers and sisters, and thank you for joining us in this new edition of HJ Global News. We wish you a happy new year filled with True Parents' blessings. A few months ago, True Mother presided over a special meeting with pastors from heavenly Korea. There, she gave them a mission to bless 43 families in 100 days, and just 50 days into the condition, on December 30th, she had another meeting with pastors from heavenly Korea. There she received reports on their work and their determination to bring about absolute victory in this new year. In this edition, we will present the special meeting with Korean pastors in more details. Observing the coronavirus prevention protocol, the national meeting of Korean pastors presided over by True Mother was held online in a two-way system between the Cheonjeonggung headquarters and the HJ Chonbo Training Center. True Mother, who, without taking a break after offering God the victory of Vision 2020, launched the second Cosmic Canon course of 7 years, connecting Korea with the victory obtained worldwide and speeding up the steps towards the achievement of a heavily unified Korea by 2022. True Mother presided over this special meeting with Korean pastors after the one she held on November 11th. 50 days into the 100 days set to fulfill the substantial goal of 43 Chonbo families. The pastors, after listening to her words during the Hundok reading by True Mother's Chief of Staff, Mrs. Chon Won-ju, presented their strategies for 2021 and shared their stories of successful activities after listening to True Mother's precious words.
신통일한국의 목회자 여러분, 반갑습니다. 나는 이날을 무척 많이 기다렸습니다. 밤하늘에 빛나는 별을 보게 되고 새벽에 뜨는 별을 보게 될 때에 누구나 한 마음 기쁨입니다. 새날을 맞아 살아가는 데 있어서의 희망을 얘기할 수 있는 시간이라고 봅니다. 그러나 요즘 일기로 볼 때는 미세먼지와 과거에 하늘의 별을 볼 수 있는 그러한 기쁨의 순간은 갖기 힘든 시대가 됐습니다. 그러나 어제와 오늘 철력으로 11월 16일에 달은 무척 밝았습니다. 나는 그동안에 여러분들이 책임에 있어서 결과를 보고하는 이 순간을 놓고 1018년 목회자들의 별들의 잔치라 말하고 싶습니다. 축제보다는 잔치가 마음에 듭니다. 잔치는 기쁨을 느낍니다. 앞으로의 희망을 생각하게 됩니다. 그래서 나는 오늘 여러분들의 보고를 잔치하는 분위기에서 듣고자 합니다. 그 여러분들이 승리한 별은 이 암울한 세계를 더 밝게 빛나게 비추는 더 커지는 더 발전한 별이 되기를 나는 기대합니다. 그렇게 해줄 수 있겠죠? 그래서 이 민족이 하늘의 축복을 받아 감당하는 하늘 부모님을 모시는 신통일 한국이 되어서 섭리의 중심에서 세계를 품을 수 있는 이 민족이 되는 데 있어서 여러분들이 열매를 크게 맺기를 거듭 부탁합니다. 그렇게 할 거죠?
The love expressed by True Mother in her words raised the fighting spirit of the Korean pastors. Guided by the words of True Mother, the regional co-chair presented the roadmap with concrete and tailored to each sub-region, mapping out how they're going to restore the country. The people and the pastors of the Heavenly Unified Korea, together with the Family Federation, the Universal Peace Federation, the Youth and Student Association for Peace, promised to work together. 25 selected pastors from each sub-region presented various ways of approaching the task of blessing and working with 43 Chonpo families each. Presenting their model cases, they inspired everybody. True Mother listened attentively to the presentation of the pastors, whom she called stars of the providence. And then Director General of the International Headquarters, Dr. Yoon Young-ho, shared with them encouraging words from True Mother, saying, "I trust you. You are my hope," and presented the plans for the Vision 2027.
참 어머님을 믿고 뜨겁게 각오하고 열심히 노력해줘 고맙게 생각한다. 남은 기간 더욱 열심히 노력해주길 바란다. 너희들을 믿는다. 너희들이 나의 희망이다. 지금은 한계를 돌파하는 것이다. 한계를 돌파하기 위해서는 본인의 한계를 명확히 알고 그 한계를 돌파할 수 있는 믿음을 확고히 갖고 한계를 돌파할 수 있는 전략을 수립하고 강한 자신감으로 행동에 실천하고 결과에 대해서는 반추하는 것이다. 목회자들이 해야 한다. 식구들이 아니다. 목회자들이 40세상 실생활을 통해 첨보 수행이라는 새로운 길을 만드는 것이다 라는 말씀도 주셨습니다. 저는 믿고 갑니다. 왜 갈 수 있느냐? 어머님이 계시기 때문에요. 저희들은 이룰 수 있습니다. 왜 이룰 수 있습니까? 어머님께서 하시기 때문에. 이 모든 노정 가운데 가장 중요한 것이 첨보 40세상의 실생활입니다. 40세상 실생활을 통해서 완전히 정착하고 영계에 가서도 기뻐할 수 있는, 그러니 마지막 2027년은 하늘 부모님 아래 하나님이 아닌 하나님 주님, 하나님 아버지, 하나님 어머니가 아닌 하늘 부모님 아래 천주 대가족, 천주 대가족이 이상이 실현되는 비전인 겁니다. 어머니께서 너희들은 나의 희망이고 내가 너희를 믿는다는 그 말씀을 믿고 간다면 저희들이 승리를 봉헌할 수 있을 거라 생각합니다.
The leaders of the special region of Korea, determined to become Chombo families in the era of the establishment of Cheonilguk, resolved to become true leaders, arming themselves with the armor of spirit and truth, to offer to God the day of realization of a heavily unified Korea. Wonmupyeonghae Scholarship Academy's fourth conference was themed Missionary Skills That Can Be Learned Through the Expansion of the Korean Wave. And the fifth conference focused on lifestyle to protect the environment. These conferences saw the participation of young people from several countries who discussed the implementation of solutions emerging from different themes. They combined their energies and wisdom to contribute to a positive change in the world. In addition, President Moon Yeol-na presided over the 2020 Mentorship Program online closing ceremony. Through this program, high school students have been helped in their studies by fellow students who received awards for their work. Highways members have made their contribution and offered conditions of devotion so that the youth center becomes a place where young people can develop their faith. With this special training of STF, in which 4 youth groups participated, the Family Federation of Taiwan is committed to train the Hyojong-rang of the Cheonilguk future leaders who will become of service to heavenly parents. The Universal Peace Federation Asia Pacific, in partnership with International Association for Peace and Development, convened a webinar for faith-based organizations. 12,734 internet viewers from 35 nations in Asia Pacific region participated in this 2-hour web seminar on the theme, The Role of Faith-Based Organizations, FPOs, in Building a Heavenly Unified World. 11 guest speakers from different faith organizations called on everybody to unite in order to provide solutions to the problems faced in these trying times. In Brazil, for Christmas, food sharing volunteer activities were held to support those in need. The first and second generation of blessed families, in cooperation with leading NGOs, donated a total of 1.5 tons of food to 40 organizations. By practicing the spirit of living for the sake of the country, they strengthened the partnership with local community groups, a step towards the restoration of the nation. In Nepal, Narayanapur municipality sponsored the two-day leadership seminar, and state parliament member, municipal mayor, deputy mayor, chief administrative officers, and 120 students have attended the whole program. They shared the idea of national education by teaching divine principle in the city on the local government level. The Family Federation of Families in the Dominican Republic held a Marriage Blessing Peace Festival. Through this, the Family Federation could deeply engrave the value and meaning of blessing to participants, pledging to create ideal families, God's long wish. Centered on the headquarters church, the Chonwon Gung Chonwon Church of Heavenly Parents Holy Community, all the 9 regions of the world held their end-of-year service. On this day, the last Sunday of the year 2020, all the members and blessed families watched together the 10 greatest providential news reports from the year, which summarized the victories of our true parents in the year 2020. Around the world, members could inherit true parents' unwavering heart of marching forward. As they did, they made resolutions for the establishment of a heavenly unified Korea and a heavenly unified world. A very eventful year, the year of the rat. The year 2020 has just come to an end. And a new year full of hope has now begun. We must always express our gratitude to true parents who have given us the grace to enter a new era of the establishment of Chanekul. For this new year, we sincerely wish that you become true sons and daughters of filial piety, through whom the miraculous work prepared by Heavenly Parent will be realized. It is with these words that we close this edition. Be well and may God bless you.
Wow, so much grace and love from our true mother. Let us work hard to win this heavenly competition. Now, let us listen to a song sang by Miss Sunwa Nuyana, who won the silver prize in the 5th Chonilguk Holy Song Competition.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy Sunday. My name is Suna Sofia Niana, and today I will be singing to you an original song by my elder sister, Julie Julia Niana. This song is entitled True Love.
Why do tears roll from our eyes? It's either happiness or grief. Why does poor and rich? Why no equality? Many questions should be answered in this complicated world. What's missing in this world? Must it be true love? True love is a simple word, but mean a very big thing. True love is a wish of mine and a dream of everyone. True love must stand out, no more selfishness and pride. True love, come along, come along. Religious groups fight each other, never humble down at once. Why there's war and selfishness posted everywhere. Many people suffer now, but no one's even lend a hand. What's missing in this world? Must it be true True love is a simple word, but mean a very big thing. True love is a wish of mine and a dream of everyone. True love must stand out, no more selfishness and pride. True love, come along, oh come along. We dream to live in a peaceful world, a world where people care for each other, where love exchange begin. Let us stand up tall and raise our voice, 'cause together we can. True love is a simple word, but mean a very big thing. True love is a wish of mine and a dream of everyone. True love must stand out, no more selfishness and pride. True love, come along, oh come along. True love must stand down, no more selfishness and pride. True love, come along, oh come along. True love, come along, oh come along.
Wow! Truly worthy of being one of the top songs during the 5th Chonilguk Holy Song Competition. And now, are you ready to receive more grace, love, and inspiration? Without further ado, let us welcome our Regional President for Heavenly Asia Pacific 2, President Masaichi Hori, to share his testimony, which was given during the Heavenly Asia Pacific Songwa Youth Workshop.
Good morning, all Asia Pacific brothers and sisters. Today, I speak in Japanese, so very sorry for that. And also, translator will have a big hard time. But anyway, I will start my testimony. それでは、改めておはようございます。私は今、50歳ですね。
50 years old.
はい、非常に簡単な一言を訳すのに時間がかかりますね。
I think it takes time to translate very simple words.
同じ2世といっても、すでにこのおじ
Even though they may be second gen, there are some second gen, they are already grandparents. I do have children myself. I have children who are in junior high school and high school.
そして、今祝福を受けたばかりという2世の兄弟姉妹もいるでしょう。
And I'm sure there are some brothers and sisters who just received blessing recently.
そしてこれを聞いている600人以上の皆さん
And
は
those of you who are listening to this workshop today, you may be students or somebody may be working.
そして2世の、赤ちゃんもいます。
There are second gen who are still babies.
誠の
centering on true parents, we need to position ourselves. Unless we do that, we won't understand relationship without amongst each other. So even though we may be second gens, we have different situation, different backgrounds, different ages. So we may be not easy to relate. Also, in this Asia Pacific region, I can see there has been very good education. So I can see amongst the nations that there are some commonality in terms of culture. I feel this. I am 50 years old. So the difference between me and my true father is 50 years old. The babies who are born this year, that means the difference between my age and true father's age is difference between my age and the baby who are just born. Understand? So the way I look at the babies who are born now is the way true father will look at me. One of the most important things in life of faith is if you can really understand that you are really being loved, then your life of faith will really deepen. Toward my own children, toward brothers and sisters and the babies, when I look at them all, what kind of heart do I have? Oh, when true Father look at me, when God looks at me, oh, I can feel this, how God wants to unconditionally love me. Because as 50-year-old man, that's what I feel when I look at those brothers and sisters and babies around me. I don't know how many age difference I have between me and you. So what I want to ask of you today, or what I want to share with you today, actually yesterday, I don't know how many age difference I have between me and you. Share so many things yesterday. So what I'm going to share with you today is kind of overlap what he shared yesterday. So what you're going to hear from me may not be anything new. However, I like to share with you, including my life and your life, how can we see our life centered on God? How important this is, I want to share with you. So God, true Father and me, there are 50-year difference. So I am experiencing Father's life 50 years ago when Father was 50 years old. That's what I'm aware of every day.
Thank you.
1970 is what?
That's when.
Okay, it's finished second 7-year providence. Oh yeah, Father was 50 when it was 1970s. So first 70 years was finished, and it was middle of the second 7-year course. And during that time, the for during that time, the providence really advanced. During second 7-year course. So when we refer back to that time, we can see what we should be doing during the second 7-year course for us right now. During this second 7-year course, what True Parents did was they established many companies, and then also they did VOC activities. They expanded. And also they moved their activities centered on America. They moved to America. So in many areas, our movement expanded was during this second 7-year course. During that time, I was born. In Korea, the North Korea and South Korea, before that, until that time, North Korea was more developed, and it was difficult in South. But then from about 1970, that kind of switched. And then because of that tension, there was a possibility for war to start again. So 1970 to 1973, those 3 years. So all the blessed families, Father sent to all the, all over Korea, complete mobilization. And that's, and during the mobilization, they were ready to start a new era. During those 3-year mobilization, all the blessed families, fathers and mothers, they were gone from their homes. I was born in 1970. I was the first second gen blessed family to be born in Japan. It must have been a precious baby, God's child, right? So all the members were curious and watched me. When there's light, I stopped crying. When the light was turned off, then I started crying. When I was a baby, I was like that. So there's a word, child of light. So the people say, oh yeah, he's truly a child of God. But nobody had experience of having blessed children or dealing with blessed children. So nobody knew, nobody had experience. So people had this kind of concern, I don't know how to deal with this child, God's child. I'm sure many of your parents may have this kind of concern. Okay, let's go back to the original point. Right after I was born, I was separated from my parents. And then when the family reunited was when I was 5 years old. So I hadn't remembered my parents' faces. I didn't know what my parents looked like. So sometimes when this unknown man comes to my home, where I was, and they say, oh, he's your father, Or sometimes this unknown lady comes a woman come to my, where I am and say, "Oh yeah, she's your mother." That's how I lived. I was very lonely. But in the past, many second gens, they couldn't live with their own parents. Many of the second gen elder second gen went through this kind of lifestyle. And then also they lived poor. Their lifestyles was very poor. And many of these second gens lived at the church centers. Lived at the church or lived with church members. So then, literally, we lived together with the church members as a family. So to me, I feel the members, the sheik, are my own family. That's how I feel. Why I say this? There's so many developments in the past, later. And then, so church became not place to live, but to go to attend Sunday service. And also it's like offices for our different activities. So that church people became like people of the office or people of the organization. So from the heart of all the members, the church became kind of far away, became distant. So then when the elders said church, they felt certain feeling in their heart. But then the members now, when they say members, what they feel in their hearts, it seems really different. Even though when I use the same word, the shinjong, the heart, is different, or what you feel is different. So when you say the word church, I can see this is applicable. When two parents said church, they meant like family. They feel family. And this church is something that two parents he sacrificed or cut up from their own portion and then receive people as their own. So actually, two parents really live for sake of them. Two parents really accepted these people as their own family. So that became the church. So that's two parents' feeling toward the church. So when two parents say church, it's like two parents' home. So unless you develop this kind of heart or feeling toward the church, you have the different feeling toward the church than what two parents feel about church. So for me, I don't really like church in terms of the reason why the second generation said, well, I don't like church. There are many. I mean, in church, there are many good people. But in terms of church, when you think about church, you feel some struggles in your heart. And the feeling of this struggle in your heart is like unfortunate reality, situation. Oh, there's no love in the church. So because of this, you don't feel love, or you feel struggle toward the church. Because you don't feel love from the church, so You don't like church, and then you don't want to do faith. You don't want to have life of faith.
No, so sometimes they don't like the faith.
And then because of this, it can lead into, oh, I don't like God. So I am 50 years old. This is sharing of me who is already 50 years old. So when I look at this movement of the heart or how you feel, it's actually you have a disease of the heart. We're having disease. We are in sickness.
You can't receive love sometimes.
So when you live in a country but you hate the country, then that becomes communism. Even though we are living in love of God, but you still hate God, and that's actually Satan. That's the disease that Lucifer had. So similarly, toward the nation, toward the parents, toward the church, if you have this kind of heart, so maybe the name is different, but it's the same sickness. So actually, in small or big, all of us contracted this disease. So we all have this disease to some degrees. Even though we are loved, we cannot love back. We are not able to receive the love that are given and just let it slide. And you let it slide. Even though the love comes, and you're the one who's let it slide, and yet you feel, how come you don't give the love that I need? And you feel hatred. So unless you really receive the love properly, you can feel gratitude. So when you think of love, how can we receive love properly? This is a very important point. The people who cannot properly receive God's love cannot have gratitude, cannot be thankful, that you feel, oh, I was not loved. When you feel, oh, I am not loved, then you feel like you are victim. That you got this victimized thinking, oh, I'm being treated badly. So the people who feel victimized, next what you think is, oh, I have the right to revenge. Then the people who feel right to revenge, then you want to freely want to take revenge. So people who inflict harm is the people who feel victim themselves. So this is actually the opposite pattern of God's creation. So the process of fall is the opposite direction of how you should grow. So because you ignore the love that's given by God, you're the one who's ignoring and not receiving, but you feel, oh, I'm not loved. So it's because of God. It's God's fault. And then you feel victim. You're the victim. And then, okay, so I have right to revenge. So this was the feeling of thinking of Lucifer, and this is the Cain's feeling. And today, every day, we try to live centered on God, but when we lost that balance, that's how we become. When true parents, how they're educating us is we have to stand before God in a right way. Unless you stand vertically correctly, then God's love won't come. Centered on God, but when we lost that balance, so this is something we become that important for us to understand. I'm sorry. It should be my time for testimony, but I gave you a sermon. Sorry. To stand before God in a right way. Why do I say this? Why am I sharing this? Until I was 5 years old, I didn't know my parents. I didn't know how they look like even. But from 5 years old, then I lived with my parents for 8 years. But my parents are always busy for church activities. Then when I turned to 12, then I went to Korea to study abroad. So actually, I never lived with my parents. I mean, I only lived with my parents for like 7, 8 years. Therefore, so if I want to feel grudgeful, then it's, understandable that I feel that way. As a second generation, to have a life of faith, what's important is if you can't, these bad things happen to me, right? You count the negative, then you will die. If you think about how you were treated, then if you're self-centered, then you just get blown away. What's important is God, true parents, and my parents, how they wanted to love me. How they want to love me. God, true parents. So they made me thinking about, I want to give you some snacks. But they're in a situation where they are not physically able to give you this cookie or snack, but they want to give. So by understanding their heart of wanting to give you something, then you should feel love. So you don't just feel love because you actually receive this snack, but then you have to understand, yes, I didn't get snacks, but then my parents want to give me this snack. That's how you receive love. And what true parents, and something I really want to testify is that true parents are the people who never forget that we have hyojong toward them. God never forget even the smallest thing that you want to do for them. Do for God. So us first few batch of second gen in Japan. So when we went to Korea, Korea wasn't the modernized country as it is now. It is today. So it was really poor situation. So please imagine if you were going to be sent to somewhere oh my God, I'm going to that kind of place. In terms of structure, finance, economic development, you're going to a place where 1/10 of you've been experiencing. That's how it was for us. There are many people at that time want to come to study in Japan, but there are almost nobody who wanted to go to Korea to study. However, in 1983, two parents received us. What they told us was, you came to Korea, so the environment of Korea is not important. The content which God wants to give you is here. The 심정, the heart that God wants to give you is in the land of Korea. That's why you are here. So some of you came from Japan or America and other countries. So if you want to receive God's of love of God, but then if you just stand self-centeredly, you're off from the direction that God's love is coming. But you have to move to the position where you can directly receive God's love. That's why I invited you to come to Korea. That's what Father said. During that time, I was kind of naughty. So when two parents invited us, called us, so then let us wait outside in the garden for about 30 minutes or 1 hour. So I was still in the primary school. So I felt bored. And there were some trees in the garden. Those trees were just right height to practice my martial arts. I thought, oh, I can practice well here. So I practiced doing kicks. I was kicking the branches, and then the branch broke off. And the branch broke. I said, oh no! I kind of hit that broken branch somewhere in the back. And then somebody came and said, oh, two parents are calling you. So then we went inside. Oh, actually, when I kicked the branch and then broke it, actually, true Father could see it so clearly. When I look back, I can laugh about it. But at that time, I felt, oh, this is God. We think we do something. Oh, because we cannot see, so we think, oh, God doesn't exist. But we cannot see them, but they can see me. I really have that experience at that time. And then they tell us, you are God's child. So please come to Korea, and then you have to become number one. But you cannot speak Korean. But people who cannot Korean language, but you have to become number one in Korean school. You have to study 3 times as much. So true parents really emphasize, please study, please study, please study, and then become model person, become a model, exemplary person. True parents always emphasize this many times. I thought I was supposed to just learn something of Korea, but it wasn't that. Because I'm a foreigner. We were foreign students, right, in Korea. So Korea is one, and Japan is next. So I held that kind of concept in the beginning, but it wasn't like that. Japan said, you guys are not like Japanese or anything. You are children of God. You are children of heaven, which God wants to build. Yes, you came from Japan, or some of you from America or Europe, but you are God's children. So it's more important to express that you are God's children. So you need to compete with other Korean children who don't know God or who don't know your value. So you need to compete. You study hard and you become number one. So true parents doesn't think, oh, Koreans are better and then other nations are next. No. True father don't think like that, don't see it like that. Because in terms of building God's nation, God's world, and then the starting place was Korea. That's why true parents invited us to Korea. So starting point of heaven on earth is Korea. And true parents don't see the races. They don't see the races in terms of providence. No. What true parents are doing, everything to build heaven on earth. So that was my understanding at that time. So it's almost time. So at that time, I couldn't speak Korean. But next year, we were to do some play in front of true parents. And actually, at that time, I was best speaking in Korean. So I did the role of a teacher of school, and then other students were children. And we showed this play to true parents. The true parents say, oh, Hori, your Korean is very good. So that first impression just went straight to true parents and to God. God is like that. And they will not, the first impression never leave God and true parents. So what I want to ask you is, how do you want to be remembered by God and true parents? You want them to think, oh, this is a worrisome student, I worry about this child. Or you want them to think, oh, he's a great child. He has this filial heart toward God and true parents. Is that how you want God to remember you? So anyway, father said, oh, this child can speak really good Korean. So anyway, as true parents told me, I studied hard to learn Korean, so I was able to do Korean. So after 3 years, true parents invited us to Hannam-dong. And true parents gave talk to second gens. And those words of father in Korean, I could understand 100%. So I was so grateful. And afterwards, and then father said, okay, why don't you say something? So I raised my hand. I said, true parents, we have come here to Korea to study. We left our own country. But please don't worry about us. We are given so many things and we feel so happy. Please don't worry about us even a bit. And true parents, please do the providential mission that you want to do. Please do that to the world. So what I shared was, again, share the gratitude and also ask them, please don't worry. And true parents, please do your best to spread God's work. So that's what I shared to true parents at that time. True parents, father and mother. True parents were so happy to hear my speech at that time. So, meeting with true parents, how you meet true parents is very important. Of course, at that time, I was together with, a few dozen brothers and sisters. After we heard True Father's speech, and then when True Parents were leaving the room, I kind of followed True Parents as they left the room. Then I said, True Parents, thank you so much today. At that time, True Parents said, Kure! Says, oh, okay. Oh, is that right? So he just responded to me, Kure. So I felt True Parents are like, well, great person, even somebody that I need to fear. Of course, I like True Parents, but then, because he's so great, I'm a little bit afraid and so far away from him. But from that moment, from that day, True Parents are somebody, when I say something, they will immediately respond to me. Then I felt this parent and child relationship with father. At that time, I was 16 years old. Then I started to So I was pursuing God, but then when I really felt God and True Parents were when I was 15 or 16 years old. So to me, True Parents weren't somebody who are like somebody great out there, but then, he is my father, he is my parents. So something opened up in my heart toward them. And then when I turned 19, I felt sense of mission. So then, how do you meet True Parents? The meeting with True Parents is really important. So each person has different situations, so I'm not forcing you anything. But even if you do same thing, some people really get it. Oh, it's like this, and they understand. You're doing the same thing, but there are some people who don't understand, who don't get it. What's the difference? The people, when you get it, you start. It's not like that. Once you get it, that means before you get it, you had some preparation. So on your daily life, you build something, you piled up something. So then so in daily life, you compiled certain condition, then you understand. For example, every day you study something, then you understand Korean. So then when you listen to True Parents, then you go, oh yeah, right? But if you haven't done anything, so it go, oh yeah, is that right? And it kind of passes by. So then sincerity, the devotion is very important. So if you do something because you have to do, it's not sincerity or devotion. The sincerity or devotion is how we're going to meet God and True Parents. Toward meeting God, toward meeting True Parents, you make that daily effort, and then you piled up those, efforts, devotion, and then finally you can meet God and True Parents. So when you do a devotion, do you do it centered on yourself, or you centered on God? So in your life, Reverend Dunkley said yesterday, when you think, oh, how can I satisfy myself? It's like you're in a jail. No. But how you want to meet your parents, that's more important. There's some people, in the world, they look great, but then actually not really, right? But True Parents are truly public person and truly the really equal person. they are very fair. And how true parents true parents are looking for people there's no front and back. There's no pretension, who have public thinking. And then toward this goal, toward God, who are making daily effort, daily devotion. That's what true parents are looking. That's what God is looking. So this is a very important starting point for your life of faith. True parents, a true mother was born in 1943. So people who are born in 93 has the 50-year difference, right? So those of you who are teenagers, so kind of similar age to like Sinchonim, like the third generation true grandchildren's age, right? You teenage people. So in your life, you may encounter so many things, but what's important is it's not like how I become what kind of person. That's not too important, but then can I really meet God? What kind of relationship can I build with God and true parents? So that's the measure of how good you are. So then whether you are such an excellent person or not is the secondary. So if your motivation is to meet God and true parents, so that you work so hard, then naturally you become great. So true parents can recognize you as a great person only when you make effort centered on how you want to meet God. So that if you have that kind of motivation, that kind of focus, then you can truly meet God and true parents. Sorry, I didn't really share my testimony, but in the beginning of this, I want to share is, how do you face God? How do you develop the feeling of, oh, I am a child of true parents? So I just wanted to share this starting point, how to build relationship with God and true parents. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for such an inspiring and amazing message, President Masaichi Hori. And now, to give our benediction prayer, let us welcome our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog.
Please join me in prayer. 사랑하시는 하늘 부모님, 천지인 참 부모님, 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Today, the 20th day of the 11th month, in the 8th year of Channel Group, 3rd of January 2021, we are truly grateful today, our Heavenly Parents and our beloved true parents, for this great opportunity that once again we could come together in this beautiful Sunday, receiving your precious love, Heavenly Parents, through your words, through your representative today, our beloved Regional President, Reverend Masaichi Hori. We are truly honored, Heavenly Parents, today to receive His precious words, His testimony of His life, Heavenly Parents, and His precious guidance to all of us. We could be able to truly see, Heavenly Parents, how much you have raised Him up, and this time to lead our region here in Asia. Truly, you have blessed our region, our country, Heavenly Parents, by giving to us our beloved Regional President, Reverend Masaichi Hori, whom you have directly raised up and developed his heart, Heavenly Parents, to understand more deeply your heart and the heart of our beloved true parents. we really pray that with his testimony today, Heavenly Parents, we could be able to open more our hearts, Heavenly Parents, to understand deeply who you are, who our true parents are, who have sacrificed their lives, Heavenly Parents, for the sake of all humanity. We could see how much you have worked, Heavenly Parents, to guide our beloved President, Reverend Masaichi Hori, to be able to come to this point, Heavenly Parents, to be able to develop his heart of Hyojong and be able to really guide us in this region, over 20 nations, Heavenly Parents, in this region. We are truly fortunate to receive him as your representative, as the representative of our beloved true parents, our beloved true mother in this precious region. Heavenly Parents, through his testimony today, we could understand your heart deeply, Heavenly Parents, and your desire for us as your children, how much you are really doing your best, investing everything to really raise us up, Heavenly Parents, to really become your filial sons and daughters who can truly understand your heart and be able to truly stand also as your representative, Heavenly Parents, especially as the central families, Heavenly Parents, especially also our second generations, whom you are directly raising up, Heavenly Parents, that truly be used by you, Heavenly Parents, to really reach out to all people of this nation and all over the world, to be able to connect to you, Heavenly Parents, and our beloved true parents. Today is truly a great day, Heavenly Parents, truly an inspiring day, Heavenly Parents, for all of us. We really pray that through this testimony, we can truly open our hearts, Heavenly Parents, that we are really your children, Heavenly Parents. Your desire is for you to really embrace us completely, Heavenly Parents, and really raise us up with your love. Please allow us to be able to truly open our hearts and truly understand your deep love and the love of our beloved true parents, so that we can truly receive fully, Heavenly Parents, and truly we can become the channel of your love, and we can be able to really convey to all people around us as you wanted to embrace all people as your children, Heavenly Parents. We are truly one family, Heavenly Parents. This is really your desire to really establish one family under you as our Heavenly Parent. Today, with Reverend Hori's testimony, we can be able to truly understand deeply, Heavenly Parents. So please allow us to truly unite completely with our beloved true mother, with our true mother's representative, Reverend Hori, and all brothers and sisters in this nation, Heavenly Parents, to be able to really restore our nation and really offer our nation to you and to our beloved true parents. Really, the key is how we can really develop our filial hearts, Heavenly Parents, and with this heart, we can be able to truly overcome everything, Heavenly Parents, and we can be able to truly stand as your true representatives, as your true sons and daughters, who will going to really carry out your will and be able to truly build your long cherished dream and desire of kingdom of heaven here on earth, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much for this precious day, this precious Sunday morning, that we could join together, Heavenly Parents, with you, with our true parents, and through our beloved President, Reverend Hori. Thank you so much. Please continue to bless all our blessed families, all brothers and sisters, Heavenly Parents, that we can truly move together as one, Heavenly Parents, as we are preparing for our 1 million Rally of Hope, Heavenly Parents, in the Philippines. We really open the way for the Rallies of Hope in the entire Heavenly Asia Pacific too, Heavenly Parents. We really pray that through this, we can be able to truly bring joy and happiness and inspiration to you and to our beloved true parents. Thank you so much once again for everything, Heavenly Parents. With a grateful heart, we would like to offer and report everything in our names. Leo Angelo and Kaling Halog, the Central Family. Adieu. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
For our offertory song, let us now sing Holy Song number 10, My Offering.
Please join me in my prayer. Good morning to you, our most loving heavenly parents and victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Heavenly parents, we are deeply grateful for your unconditional love to all of us. You continuously guiding us through the right path. We thank you for the gift of life, and I hope that we can use it meaningfully and productively. Heavenly parents, use us to convey and spread your words to as many people as possible. Use us as your instrument in advancing the providence of restoration. May we become responsible central figures that can uphold the standard of true parents. May we fulfill our responsibilities to liberate and restore our ancestors into absolute good spirits in the spirit world. Heavenly parents, we want to offer you our talents and abilities, so we promise to do our best to always make great offerings to comfort your heart. Our heavenly parents, we want to bring honor in your name and in the name of true parents. So please, allow us to become your heavenly soldiers who will always walk with you until the end. May we have a wonderful week ahead of us. I would like to offer this prayer on behalf of our leaders, brothers and sisters, in true parents' name. Jew.
Let us now have our unison prayer. For our recessional song, let us sing Holy Song number 35, Day of Glory. Thank you so much for being with us, brothers and sisters. Please take care of your health because heavenly parents and true parents cannot trust us if we are not physically healthy. Please exercise regularly because I am sure True Mother would say the same. This is Preston Kyle Tanate, your MC for this Sunday. See you next Sunday.